simulating the interview environment, and it's going to be for 30 minutes. Normally it's supposed to be for 45 minutes, but we'll make it 30 minutes. So I'm just saying these questions like you guys too are saying the question, so I just want to simulate how I can approach this question within 30 minutes in an interview environment. Alright, so let's go together. Divide two integers. Given two integers, dividends and divisor. Divide two integers without using multiplication, division, and mod operator. Return the quotient after dividing dividends by divisor. The integer division should truncate towards 0. So let's see example. For instance, this is the dividends, this is the divisor, 10 divided by 3 gives me 3. It says that return the quotient after, so the quotient is 3. 7 divided by minus 3 minus 2. Integer division should truncate towards 0. Okay. You divide two integers without using multiplication. What does that mean? Division and mod operator. So I can't use multiplication, I can't use division, I can't use those operators, but I can use subtraction, addition. Note, both dividend and divisor will be 32 bits signed. The divisor will never be 0. As long as we are dealing with an environment which could only store integers within the 32-bit signed range, purpose to assume that your function returns. So how will I approach this problem? First, to write it in Python. So I write a function. The function takes in the dividends and divisor, and it returns the output. So 10 divided by 3 is 3, remainder 1 gives 3. So just truncate that. 7 divided by minus 3 gives minus 2, remainder 1. How can I do this? So I'm going to copy this into another. I'm going to copy this here, which is where I want to write my code. In order to avoid moving here and there, I'm going to move this to another screen. So I move that to another screen. So I can be able to look at it from the second screen and write my code here for you guys to see. Okay. So I need to think a little. The only way that's coming to my mind is to subsequently remove the divisor from the dividends. So I can say 10 minus 3, it gives me 7. 7 minus 3, it gives me 4. 4 minus 3, it gives me 1. So I can consistently check that what is remaining. For instance, if I say 10 minus, let me just make this as a talk. So for instance, if I say 10 minus 3, that gives me 7. Then I have to test again that the 7 is still bigger than the divisor, bigger than 3. So I can say 7 minus 3 again. That gives me 4. I see that 4 is still bigger than the divisor, which is 3. Minus 3 again. That gives me 1. But 1 is no longer bigger, so I can stop that. That's the idea. So I will need to do an if statement after I do a subtraction. Okay. And the number of times, I need a counter to do the number of times that I do the subtraction will be my answer. So let's implement that. I will need a temporary variable. I will need a temporary variable to say temp equals to dividend minus divisor. Then I store that in temp. Then I need to do a check. Let's see if temp is greater than or equals to divisor. Then I have to still do this again. That's just the initial idea. I'm trying to think what will work best. Can I do a while loop and says if while temp because I don't know the number of times I will have to go to, so I will need some kind of while loop. I can say while temp, so I can say while temp greater than or equals to divisor. Then I continue to do this one. So I will not need this anymore. So while temp is greater than or equals to divisor, it continues to do this. So the first time I assume that dividends will always be greater than divisor. If not, I can do an if check. So while temp is greater than or equals to divisor, I do this. Then I need a counter. Every time I enter the loop, I need a counter that will increment equals to 1. And that counter is going to start with 0. and my return is going to be the counter. So let's see. First I get 10 minus 3. My temp will be 4. So this initializes to 0. It's greater than this. It goes on. This is perfectly okay to my understanding, but where there can be issue is the first one. There's nothing that says in the question whether we should assume that dividends will always be greater than divisor. So they didn't say anything about that. So I can put an if here, modify this, and say if dividends is greater than or equals to divisor, then I can do this. That will work. If dividends is greater than or equals to divisor, then I can do this. Then I can also do my counter here because I need that, and I can take this away from here and have it here. Seems it looks good. Let's see. Counter equals to 0. So we start with 10 and divisor is 3. Then 10, is it greater than or equals to 3? Yes. My counter becomes 1. Then my temp, I need to take note of that in a scratch sheet. My counter becomes 1. My temp becomes 4. Then I get into this place. Y temp, that is 4, greater than or equals to divisor, which is 3. That is true. So my counter becomes 2. Then my temp becomes dividends. Something is wrong here. My dividends has to change. My dividends has to be updated. So immediately this is done, dividends has to change to temp. The same thing will be applicable here. So let's start all over again and check. My dividend is 10. I'm using a scratch paper to document that. My divisor is 3. My counter is 0. Trying to check. If dividends, that's 10, greater than or equals to, I'm here now, greater than or equals to 3. That is true. So my counter becomes 1. My temp becomes 10 minus 3, which is 7. My dividend changes to 7. Good. Then it comes down again. Y temp greater than or equals to divisor. Let's look at it. What's my temp? I think it should be dividends. It should be dividends, because that is changing. This should be dividends. So why dividends? Dividends is 7 now. It's greater than or equals to divisor. Divisor is still 3. My counter changes to 2 now. My temp becomes dividends, which is 7, minus divisor, which is 3, 4. So my dividends return to equals to temp, which is 4. Then it goes back again and say 4, which is dividends, is it greater than or equals to divisor? What's my divisor? 3. Yes. So my counter gets updated and it becomes 3. My temp becomes dividends, which is 4 minus 3, which is 1. My dividend becomes 1. Then you check it, say, is dividend greater than or equals to divisor? No. Then it returns the counter, which is 3. I think that works. Another way of eliminating this line could be for me to just say dividends here. Just put dividends equals to dividends minus divisor. Here too, I can just say dividends equals to dividends minus divisor. But let's just leave it to make things clear. So let's try the other one, walk through the second one, which is 7. Dividends is 7, divisor is minus 3. Let's see how that works. So counter is 0, then it becomes 7 greater than or equals to minus 3. Yes. My counter becomes 1. My temp becomes dividends, which is 7. Minus 3. That is a problem, because this is going to become plus. This is going to become 10. This will not work for the second example, because it's a minus 3. It will become 10. And so this thing will continue to increase. Okay, we might do a check. Might do a check here, that if divisor is less than 0, then we use plus so that it can reduce. So we might do a check here that says okay, or we do another one, just the same thing here, just copy it. Which one is easier? Okay, I think it's easier to do this one. And say if divisor is less than 0. Now, if divisor is greater than 0, it does this. Else it does this. Instead of minus, it does plus. That should work. Do the same thing here. Copy that. Put it here. And we can comment this one. So let's walk through again. If it is greater than 0, it does the minus. But if it is less, they've told us that divisor can never be 0, so we're good. If it is less, we do plus. So let's go back again and check. Dividends is 7. Divisor is 3. Divisor is 3. So we start with counter is 0. 7 is greater than or equals to divisor is minus 3. Yes, minus 3. Our counter becomes 1. So we check if divisor is greater than 0. Is minus 3 greater than 0? No. Else. So we say our temp becomes dividends, which is 7, plus minus 3, which will be minus 3. So that will give us 4. So temp becomes 4, dividends becomes 4. Then we come here again. Dividends is 4. Is 4 greater than or equals to divisor minus 3? Yes. Our counter becomes 2. Our counter becomes 2. Then is divisor greater than 0? No. So temp will become dividends 4 plus minus 3, minus 3. That will give us 1. So our dividends become 1. Then it goes back. Is 1 greater than or equals to minus 3? Yes. That will become a problem, because 1 is still greater than or equals to minus 3. That will give us a wrong answer. That can be done. 1 is still greater than or equals to minus 3. And we don't need to go through that iteration. I feel I'll put a check here and says and divisor is greater than 0. How do we handle the negative divisor? Any idea? Any idea? Any idea? How do we handle the negative divisor? Well, I think I'm stuck here. And now to handle the negative divisor, because I have to return a negative 2. So that means I need to have a way of tracking I can handle that one and say if dividend is less than 0 or divisor is less than 0, I can say return -1 times counter. I can even handle that. And I say else, just return the counter. That can be handled. The only one that's giving a problem is it continues to go up. Because when dividends is 1 is still greater than -3, then it will go again. But we don't want it to go again. You need to be able to undo that. We have 3 more minutes to go. If 1 is greater than -3, but really, is it not possible that we have something like -7 divided by 3? Because that has not been taken care of. Okay. Hi guys, I rest my case for now. If you guys have a solution that can work, you can give your comment. I will also try and look through again and see what I can come up with. But just for running sake, let's run it and see what we got. I know to pass some tests, it might not pass all of the tests. So let's run it. I need to sign it. So let's run it. Yeah, try it. See the best? It ran. You got answers. It's accepted. Let's submit it. That's it. It has the wrong answer in this one. My output is -4. Expected is -2. So I'm going to work on this in the next tutorial. And do leave your comment. Hopefully, somebody has been able to benefit from it. Thank you, and see you in the next